So did you know that you can, hello and welcome, blah, blah, blah. So did you know that in the last one we made a bit of a modulated bell sound? In this one we're going to make a bit of a weirder kind of, we're going to use a filter as an oscillator. So what we'll do is we'll switch these two off. Okay, so we'll make sure that these two switches are down. We want to turn the octave all the way down to a 0. We want to turn the frequency all the way down to the 0, to the last point here. We want to leave the pulse width at the way it is, and we'll turn the sync off. We don't want to use sync in this one. We want to turn this oscillator all the way down and this oscillator all the way down. We want to turn the noise all the way down. We want to have a cutoff, and we want to turn that resonance all the way up to the top. And we want to turn the envelope all the way down to the bottom, and we want to turn the keyboard amount all the way up to a mid 8, let's say. Now, that's practically, yeah, that's just a filter. Like, that's not, like, these octaves don't have the volume up, so they're not even affecting the sound. That's just the way the filter sounds. And that's generally because the resonance, the more you turn that up, you get that tone. So the next thing you want to do is make sure this is down, make sure all of these are off, make sure this is off, make sure this is off, make sure this is off, and then we'll put the attack down to 0. We'll set this to a 7. We'll turn up the sustain to a 7, let's say. And we'll go to the release and get that release at about a 3. Need you at about a 3 right now. Wow, it's a bit much. Now, so I'm going to turn the LFO all the way down. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn the triangle on. I'm going to turn this one off. Doesn't really matter here. Just play or record, it doesn't really matter. All of these, just keep them at off, basically. And then the attack decay at about a 7. Get that sustain up there at about a 7. And get this at about a 3. Boo, 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 boo. Now this is literally only using the filter. I'm not even using these. Like if I... So I can start layering stuff like that. But I'm not going to use these, okay? So they're not being used. And then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to mess with the modulation a small bit. So let's see what happens if I turn up the LFO amount to turn an LFO on it. So when I use the wheel on my keyboard, sounds like the clangers or something. So if I put this to a direct, hey, we got Pacman. So that's just a kind of little basic-y sound anyway, and yeah, sure, and it's kind of interesting that it's just running from the filter. That's Pacman. There and then, that's how you make the Pacman sound anyway. But look, yeah, hopefully that'll be enjoyable for you to learn about, and we'll see you in the next one.